Hello folks, Jason Chrisman here of JC's Beads. And as I promised you last week, this week I'll be discussing my Maxant 3100P. So today we'll step onto my front porch here, which I'm trying to enclose and turn into an extraction room. And I'll break down the things that I noticed about the Maxant 3100P just within a couple days of owning it. I have yet to extract, so there will be more to come to this video as I learn different things about the extractor. But there was a few things that I noticed right off the bat, and I wanted to point them out to you in case you're thinking about getting one. So let's step up on the front porch and we'll break down these things. And if you have any questions or comments throughout the video, leave them in the comments below. Okay folks, what you see here is the 3100P. What the P stands for is power motor, and as far as the rest of the 3100 series, everything else you see from here is the same, except for the motor. A few of the 3100 series are hand crank. There's a 2-frame basket, there's a 4-frame basket, and then there is the 9-frame basket. You can get the 9-frame basket in a hand crank or electric. So you've got choices, and then to buy your legs on all of the 3100 series, you're going to have an additional $50 in the legs. One thing I do want to point out about the legs, the hardware that came with the legs was not stainless steel. Me being very picky, I went to the hardware and bought stainless steel and replaced it all out. I actually had one of these bolts here in the center ring bolting to the leg, and when I was snugging up the leg, the bolt broke off. They're just very cheap bolts that come with it. So I did not like that. Actually, being Maxant, I figured it would have been stainless steel bolts throughout. I was really surprised to see that. Another thing I'd like to point out while we're talking about stainless steel, where your basket is in the center of the extractor, out the bottom there's a bolt. This bolt is not stainless steel either. So one day down the road I'll be changing that bolt out and making it stainless. But I did want to point that out, that it's not stainless. You would think, like I say, being Maxant, they would have used quality products throughout, but they seem to cut costs where they can, which I understand. You know, if you're going to pay $8.50 for this extractor and then I have another $13 in bolts, I'm just getting closer to the $900 mark. So every penny you put into it, they want back. It just makes sense. So you got 2 lids here on the top. They both remove. They're both solid stainless steel. The whole extractor is 20 gauge stainless steel. On the lids here, you can see they put a rubber coating around the edge, probably to keep you from getting cut and to help it seal a little better. But there is no actual viewing window in the top of the extractor. There's actually caution stickers on here not to remove the lids while this extractor is running, but I don't know a whole lot of people that's going to follow that instruction. Coming with the extractor is a little Allen wrench. This Allen wrench goes for some Allen screws around the side of the shaft here. Very handy to have. I do wish they would have made a little holder to keep the Allen wrench in, because now I've got to keep track of this dang Allen wrench, and I know when I need it I'm not going to be able to find it. But that's just a little thing, I guess. Another thing here on the outside is the honey gate. You got an Allen screw, or you got a wing nut here to tighten and loosen. Got the rubber O-ring in the front. Seems to be a fairly decent honey gate. It's got a rubber gasket here behind it. The one thing I do not like is it seems like it's a little bit flimsy. So back to me being picky, I ordered a new one from Man Lake. Man Lake carries a honey gate that's made in Italy. It's very durable, and I like it. It's on my bottling tank, so I wanted to switch it out. So I've got 2 of those on order, one for here and one for the uncapping tank I'm making. So that's that. Move the extractor in a little closer now, and I want to give you a view of the inside and let you see it run. Okay, so as you can see, this is what the top of the extractor looks like. We'll remove our lids. so you can get a better view. This is the 9-frame basket, and over here on the side is my power control knob. Power control knob at the top, as you can see, has a flip switch where you can go from full speed to variable. I've got it flipped to variable now, and I'm going to give you a demonstration on how well this basket operates and how well it's balanced. That is full speed. One thing I do want to point out is when you're loading the extractor, you do have to use the variable speed setting to turn and load the extractor. You cannot grab the basket and yank on it to turn it. You will destroy the motor. So let me demonstrate now how you load the extractor with the radial frames. Radial extraction means that these frames do not need flipped over to extract the other side. Both sides will extract without flipping. One extraction, turn it on, they're extracted, you remove them. So you would get 2 there. You could do 2 here, and these are either shallows or mediums. And then you could do 2 more shallows or mediums here, giving you a total of 6 shallows or 6 mediums. And those are all radial. So once those are extracted, you can remove them. For demonstration purposes, let me go ahead and load another one here. And then I'll bring the extractor on around to there. Now let me explain tangential. This is one of the tangential frames positions. And what that means, tangential means, is that you'll extract the one side towards the outside here. It'll extract, you'll take it out, and you'll flip it over. That is tangential. Tangential basically means you're going to have to flip the frame over to extract the other side. So there is 3 positions in this extractor that are tangential. They can hold a deep, a medium, or a shallow. So if I've got that position here, and I've got that position here. So that would give me a total of 9 frames. One thing I do want to mention is when I was down at the dealer picking up this extractor, the dealer actually told me that there's some arguments as to how well it extracts between these 2 frames. He's saying that it only does about 7/8 of the job in here, and there's still a little bit of honey left. I have yet to see that because obviously I haven't used my extractor yet. But if you follow the video and you subscribe down below the video, you'll get that update as it comes out. As far as the motor, it's made in England. I did a little bit of online research, and I couldn't actually find anybody that had any trouble with them. As far as this power switch, it's got a little clip on the back so you could take it off, and if you wanted, you could mount it on your wall versus here on the extractor. Now, the one thing that's a little bit difficult is once you get it off, that plate, getting it back on because the motor is so close. But as you can see, it can be done. You've got a plastic covering here over the switch to keep it from getting honey or getting all sticky. And your motor actually plugs into the bottom like so. So you can buy a new switch if this one would burn up. And I think yesterday when I was looking, this switch cost $40. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. Through Maxant. As you can see, it's kind of contrary to get it back on there after you have taken it off, just because of the motor position. One feature that I wanted to make sure that I had is the cone bottom. A cone bottom in your extractor is kind of a key feature. And the reason for that being is, as this is extracting, spinning, and throwing the honey out on the sides walls, and it's running to the bottom, the cone bottom in this extractor will push the honey out to the sidewalls. As it drains down really low, all I have to do is tilt the back of the extractor and it runs right towards the honey gate. Whereas if you have a flat bottom on your extractor, you're probably going to have to tilt it to one side, tilt it back to the other. You're going to play wishy-wash games trying to get your honey where you want it to go out the honey gate. So the cone bottom was very, very important to me. Maxant took it a step further and put this stainless steel ring on the top to make the extractor very, very strong and sturdy. I really like that. As far as weight, I would say it's probably 80 pounds. That's just a guess. I could carry it and move it very easily myself. It's not something I would want to carry across the football field or anything, but I can carry it myself. Okay, as I mentioned, I was trying to close in my front porch here to make it into my bottling room. Underneath the extractor, you can see these foam pads that you can get from home improvement stores. I'm going to take these stainless steel leg bolts that I got and bolt this down right through the floor here. After it's bolted to the floor, I'm going to set my bucket right against here and make a mark around the bottom of the bucket. I will then cut this out. The other day, as kind of just a mock to see how it would work, I swapped out buckets here and the bucket caught on this. So I want to remove this down here, but I really feel that the foam pad underneath the extractor is going to help dampen any extra noise and maybe any extra shaking. So I think that would be nice. I also, this year, bought me one of the 5-gallon bucket honey strainers. Amazon has these on sale, and I'll leave a link to this down in the video description also, just in case you're looking for one of these. In years past, I didn't want to spend the money on them because they run, well, they have been running about 40 bucks for a stainless steel coarse and fine strainer. Amazon's been having them for $21. It's made very well, so I'm anxious to give this a try. Let these arms expand to sit over the 5-gallon bucket. It will sit here, and the honey will strain right through this into the bucket. Pretty excited to give it a try. And then, of course, if you're going to extract honey, you're going to want food grade, heavy duty, BPA-free buckets. These can be bought at Lowe's. I believe you can get a bucket and the lid for around $5. So you can't beat that deal. So what did you think of the breakdown of the 3100P? Do you think I did it any justice? Do you think the things that I nitpicked about are that major? Are they not a concern to you? And would you maybe overlook them and be happy with it as is? Leave that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. That'd be appreciated. That helps boost this video in the YouTube search ranks and makes it easier for other beekeepers to find. Make sure you tune in next week as I break down my homemade uncapping tank and my bottling tank. A lot of you might be aware that to buy an uncapping tank, you're looking at around 150 bucks. The one I'm going to show you, you can make for less than 50 bucks. So make sure you tune in next week to catch them videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please take time to do so below. That way these videos will be sent right to your YouTube feeds. And thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next week.